This video is about verbs tenses in English. Verbs comes in 3 tenses in English language: past, present, future. The past is used to describe things that have already happened, example earlier in the day, yesterday, last week, 3 years ago. The present tense is used to describe things that are happening right now, or things that are continuous. The future tense describes things that have yet to happen, example later, tomorrow, next week, next year, 3 years from now. Past tenses. Past tense has 4 forms: simple past, past continuous, past perfect, past perfect continuous. There are some signal words such as last, yesterday, past years, last month. We use past tense for actions which took place in the past, mostly connected with an expression of time without any connection to the present. The other use is for actions or events which be finished. The form of this tense is subject plus regular verbs, infinitive plus ed. Subject plus irregular verbs. Second column of table of irregular verbs. Examples: I went to bed at 10 o'clock last night. My mum bought me a birthday present. They played tennis at school. Past continuous. For this tense the word while can be a signal word. This tense is used in these conditions: an action happened in the middle of another action. To say what was happening at a specific moment in the past. Someone was doing something at a certain time in the past. You don't know whether it was finished or not. To give background information about something. The form of this tense is subject plus was or were plus infinitive plus ing. For examples: Jack was cooking dinner yesterday evening. At 4 p.m., I was waiting for the bus. Tom was speaking to me while I was recording a video. It was snowing when I went outside. The other examples: we were eating dinner when he arrived. They were chatting about their holiday when Ben called them. People were shouting and singing when I arrived at the party. The next form of past tense is past perfect. This tense has some signal words, such as already, just, never. We use this tense in the following conditions: mostly when 2 actions in a story are related to each other, the action which had already happened is put into past perfect, the other action into simple past. The past perfect tense is used to speak about events that happened before another event or up to a certain time in the past. The form of this tense is subject plus had plus past participle. Past participle is ed or third column of table of irregular verbs. Examples: I had lived in Canada for 30 years by the time I moved to France. When I arrived at the stop, the bus had already left. She had worked at the company for 5 years when it closed. You had traveled to 10 countries before your 2nd birthday. Past perfect continuous. We have some signal words in this case: how long, for and since. This tense is used in the following conditions: how long something had been happening before something else happened. If you want to emphasize the length of time, it is better to use the continuous form. The form of this tense is subject plus had plus been plus infinitive plus ing. Examples. She had been asking the students to get ready for 15 minutes before they decided to listen to her. They had been walking for hours when they finally decided they were lost and called for help. Future tenses. We have 4 types of verbs related to future. Simple future, future continuous, perfect future, perfect future continuous. The first type of future tense is simple future. This tense is used in the following conditions. Predictions about the future: you think that something will happen. You decide to do something spontaneously at the time of speaking. To make offers or promises. We also use will to talk about facts in the future. Main clause in type 1 of the conditional sentence. The form of this tense is subject plus will plus infinitive. We have some examples in this case. I think it will rain tomorrow. I will help you carry those boxes. It will be our 30th wedding anniversary next year. Our house will be 170 years old soon. I believe she will come. Richard will call you tomorrow. The next one is future continuous. This tense is used to talk about actions that will be in progress at a certain time in the future. These actions will start and end in the future, but we don't know when. We use the future continuous to talk about a future action that will happen over some time and not simply in an instant. The form of this tense is subject plus will be plus verb plus ing. Examples. I will be eating dinner at 8 p.m. tomorrow. You don't know what time I'll start or finish my dinner, but you know what I'll be doing at 8 p.m. They'll be playing tennis tomorrow. We'll be meeting with the shareholders tomorrow. What will you be doing at 9 p.m. this evening? The next tense is future perfect. We use the future perfect to talk about actions or states that will be completed before a certain point in the future. We often use time clauses like by or when I'm older with this tense. The form of this tense is subject plus will plus have plus past participle. Participle means ed or third column of table of irregular verbs. Some examples. They will have been married for 40 years this time next week. I will have retired by the time I'm 55. You will have finished that popcorn before the film starts. Come over at 9 p.m. My parents will have left by then. The last one is perfect future continuous. This tense describes actions that will be continuing at a certain point in the future. When you use this tense, you're thinking about the duration of that action up to a specific point in time. The form of this tense is subject plus will have been plus infinitive plus ing. Examples. I will have been living in Cardiff for 3 years in August. When I retire next month, I'll have been working here for 16 years. We'll have been walking for 6 hours by the time we finish this hike. They'll have been traveling continuously for 7 years in June.